Go ahead.
Yeah. So the first and foremost is this 21st edition of the F1 10th Autonomous Grand Prix. For those who are unfamiliar with this, I don't think there is anybody who's unfamiliar, but it's 1/10th scale race cars that have an NVIDIA TK1, TX1, or various other computing platforms with LiDAR camera and teams, university teams, students come together to compete. So there's the f110.org website that I think people are familiar with. And I think this thing has now it's on its way to being institutionalized within like the RAS. What we are also doing is there's an F1 10th sim racing league that we are deploying for the very first time at IROS. At the end of my discussion, I'll put the links to all of this in the chat. But for this F1 10th simulation league, what you have is you have the F110s now modeled in a program called in a ecosystem called Autodrive that allows for both, of course, individual time attack type racing, but also for head-to-head racing, all within sort of a containerized simulation environment. And so this is being deployed for the very first time at IROS, and I think it's Chinmay, Tanmay who are helping to sort of push this effort along. And so there are more details about all of this here, but there are about 54 teams that have been registered for this, and the team listings here. So I think today or maybe tomorrow is when the final listings for this will show up online. The final winners will be declared online. And last but not least is this workshop that Fabio Bonsignorino is doing. This thing is now slated for October 14th, 2 to 6 p.m. I believe there may even be a remote participation option. If so, we'll send out a message to the group. But there are both the simulation league is being represented, and there's also the F1 10th main competition will be represented as part of other similar competition activities that various groups are now coming together, all with the intent of using this framework to provide a platform for benchmarking, performance calibration, performance evaluation, and benchmarking. And even if people are not participating in this workshop, there'll be a special issue related to this workshop on how such competitions and activities can help support benchmarking, which will appear in the Robotics and Automation magazine. So, sorry, that was the. And please feel free to contact Rahul or me if you want further details.
Yeah, and several of these teams are using the Autoware stack, both in Sim and on Real, as it provides a lot of the capabilities almost like ready to roll. So thanks, Venkat, and thanks Chinmay and Tanmay for all the hard work of making this such a successful sim racing competition. I know we had done that back in the COVID days, and it was very difficult to run. But I think you guys have a really good organization. Uh, so this is so now the programming with having Autoware as part of these scale models is getting into workshops and having multiple workshops both on reproducibility and also in looking at scale platforms and so on, right? So the big sort of now that we spent about a year and a half or really forming the COE. um, what we have now is, we have a critical mass. We have, all the sort of experts, so to speak, who are using Autoware, in our labs and doing very interesting and exciting research. And so this year we are now, turning this into much more, focused and meaningful engagements with each of the COE members. And so I shared with everyone, like, a COE a project special project description, and this is basically research you're already doing but with Autoware. And so that, but having a meaningful sort of engagement means that we are contributing back to Autoware, especially in terms of code. And also Autoware is helping you as a foundation, take care of the things you don't want to worry about. Is really making sure that the vehicle is actually running really well and the platform that you have is running really well. So I had met quite a few of y'all actually in the course of the last week. And so I just want to kick it off with Ehsan from Ashmi, who was the general chair of ITSC, and run like such an amazing conference in Alberta. And we had a really good time over there. And through the discussions, Ehsan was like, "Well, I have two projects that are already ready to roll." And so he'd just provide a brief description of the work he's doing and how that is linked to his Autoware engagement project. So go ahead, Ehsan.
Thank you. Thank you, Rahul. And hi, everyone. I wish we had a chance to meet everyone here in Edmonton during ITSC. And I hope you had submitted something for the conference. But going back to what Rahul mentioned regarding our discussion, we have two active projects that could be benefit from Autoware. We have also leveraged Autoware for some sort of evaluation. The first one is specifically LiDAR-based navigation. And the main objective is a state estimation of the mobile robot or the vehicle in the high speed, in the highly dynamic scenes, which is at the intersections or for the indoor environments for a specific application of the warehouse robotics. So one of the main challenges that we had was the existing data set for evaluation was mostly mechanical, rotating mechanical LiDARs, but our LiDARs are solid state LiDARs. So with the limited field of view and the real information is missing on the existing evaluation codes when we want to run one of the off-the-shelf algorithms. So I think other we tested initially with the Autoware with some existing NDT methods or some geometrical based method in Autoware release codes. It was effective, but still we are working on leveraging the solid state LiDAR information with 128 beams. This is one project that I think Autoware engagement would be very effective for us. And for sure, we will also contribute to Autoware accordingly. And the other one is the remote sensing systems for intelligent transportation, that we have stationary sensors. I also showed some aspects of our research to Rahul. We have stationary sensors with multimodality. We have the camera, we have the LiDAR, and also radar on the sensors. Radar is being installed right now. We only have the camera and LiDAR. And we would be able to detect the pedestrians and the vehicles, trucks, many dynamic objects at the intersection, specifically for occluded scenes or perceptual degraded conditions that we have here in Edmonton for adverse weather or winter times. So for that one, we haven't tried Autoware for evaluation, but we have a plan to do that in the month of October, November. These are the two projects that I told Rahul. Possibly for the second project, I'll connect with Rahul's team for the AWS. And I just wanted to give a brief review of what we are doing and how Autoware was helpful for us.
Thanks, Ehsan. I think these are both very aligned. I think, on one side, it's good we have Mitsudome-san here. Maybe, it's to figure out now how do we, also as you're developing. So on one side, Pojen is the full-time Autoware engineer. based in the US, closer to you actually than to me and West Coast. And so Pojan, along with Mitsudomi-san's team, uh, is able to help all the teams, say upgrade to the latest version of Autoware, work with them to have integration with Autoware. So, many grad students are not really, familiar with the whole system, and then, and so you can think of Pojan, as an extension of your research team in many ways to say, okay, let's come on board, let's get this working together, and we have a very like it's really like researcher to researcher. It's not, Autoware is not a private company like that, right? So, and Pojan really can, gets into the weeds, whether it is
Yes.
on the sim side, whether it is on the whole stack side, whether it is on interfacing and so on. Uh, and then the other aspect really is, and then we also have this very, a generous offer from the Autoware Foundation that, all the COE partners that have projects will obviously require resources, and we all every COE partner that has projects, gets up to 10K of AWS credits, and my goal is to share it with all of everyone, right? Is to really have as many of us can do this, then it's a good sort of thing to have, so that we can also use these compute resources, and that's valid for 1 year. So I would say if you get that, please use it. Don't save it. Okay, so use it and then finish it. And then if we need more, we can ask AWS for more, but at least we should use it, right? So I think we should not let it go waste. And so it is a good resource. So and what we'll do is we'll go around the room. I know Ehsan has to drop off a little earlier, but before he leaves, I just wanted to ping Mitsudomi-san just to give us some alignment in terms of, how can COE members actually, interface and link to Autoware Universe and then start to make contributions. And then we'll write up a brief guide for that too. Our goal is to make it easy to, contribute back to the Autoware Universe. And then, whatever, say, SR has contributed, similar projects or variations of that are running, in other places. So we can have a lot of reuse, and that also, allows us to then have more collaborations. So say, for example, if Wei Song is also doing some infrastructure work, or, I know Go Liang in Hong Kong is doing that, then there would be a natural way to say, hey, can we, talk about how you did this and reuse that code? Because building that code is hard. It takes a lot of time, but it doesn't really, help us. Like it's really like I treat it as the last page of any publication, but it takes 9,000 hours, right? So we want to be able to at least that's our meaningful collaboration. So maybe Mitsudo-san, you can briefly just give some guidance, to the COE members as to how they can go about, making any kind of contribution to a university.
Right. So in general, we kind of maybe I can share my screen, but so in general, I think we just follow like normal GitHub process to basically when we expect someone to make contribution to the Autoware. But let me just share my screen. Let's see. So this is the Autoware documentation. So if you're new to the Autoware, you can start from the installation and then move on to like tutorials to try out with the simulators. So simulators, you have like the one without GPU and one with GPU, whichever you want is okay. But basically, you can start with these items to kind of get familiarized yourself with the Autoware. And when you actually kind of make modification to any kind of source code or Autoware, and if you would like to make kind of code contribution to the Autoware, our kind of expectation is that you follow this contribution guideline. I can also put the link in the chat. So basically the general kind of guidance is explained here, but if you are going to create a contribution, our expectation is that you will basically create a pull request to our repositories. We do have some steps that we expect you to follow before creating pull requests. The first step is that we kind of expect you to first create a GitHub discussions under our Autoware discussions form. So if you go to the Autoware Foundation discussions, you'll be able to find out all the kind of threads available under different categories. You could, for example, create feature requests, or if you have any kind of ideas about modifying the design of the Autoware, you can also create the design categories. Either way, our expectation is that when you kind of propose to make a change to the Autoware, we kind of expect you to first create a discussion post here. So, for example, this person proposed about integration of radar message to the Autoware. So he basically explains background and then propose about the actual message definitions, and then yeah, basically proposal and basically call for any comments. So the idea is that before creating the actual kind of code change, we obviously want to get aligned with the designs and the architecture of the modification that you're about to make. So we basically would like to have this Autoware GitHub discussions to be used to kind of discuss those topics first. And then once the actual kind of designs and the tasks are clarified, the next step is you create an issue to basically list up all the tasks that you would have to kind of go through to make your improvements, and then create a pull request according to these issues with a link to these issues to basically make the actual code modification and basically discuss the actual details about the implementations through the review process for the pull requests. So from this point, it's basically a normal kind of GitHub pull request process. We have reviewers to make the reviews on the proposal, and then yeah, once it's approved, then we basically merge the updates. So yeah, if you need help, you can follow this documentation, but if you want to have additional kind of information, I'm always available on the, for example, Discord. So if you can just find me on this Autoware Git Discord, you can just ping me and ask any questions regarding how you can kind of create a modification to the Autoware. One suggestion that we would make is that when you kind of create a pull request, we really expect you to kind of create in small pieces rather than kind of having a big chunk of modification to be made to the upstream. The reason is that it just makes it impossible for us to kind of make the review if you make like the modification of like thousands lines of like thousand files in Autoware to kind of make your updates. So I think even if you are planning to just write a paper, I think if you already have a plan in your mind, it would be nice if you can just start from discussion and give us a heads up about what kind of modification or updates that you're planning to make, so that we can have prior discussion about how we can support you to kind of merge those improvements to the upstream as well. So yeah, I guess those are like the general kind of guidance about how you can make contribution to the Autoware. Maybe, yeah, as additional information, if you're using F110, since I think a lot of you are kind of using F110 at the moment as a kind of first step to use Autoware. At the moment, so the instructions in this Autoware documentation, it's kind of for general kind of CPU machines with like 8-core CPU or NVIDIA GPU, and specifically for F110, we actually have some instructions maintained separately under kind of Autoware Universe branch under F110. So if you're using ROS Humble, if you go to the F110, you'll be able to find the actual instruction, special instructions to install Autoware into F110's platform. So this should be up to date and should be kind of working, should work if you just follow the steps explained here. So yeah, if you have to, if you would like to use F110, this will be like the first place that you probably would like to see, because you will probably get stuck if you just follow the just general kind of instructions for like other powerful machines. So yeah, those are kind of the information that I probably want to give as guidance. Any questions at this point?
I just have a quick question, Mitsu. I was just wondering if Autoware also accept the solid state LiDAR information for navigation.
So regarding the sensors hardware, in general, we kind of expect the data type to be kind of provided in a format as explained under kind of sensing design over here.
Yes.
So as long as you can provide the point cloud information according to this format, which is point cloud to message type, then it should be fine. I think there's also some additional kind of further details about what kind of point fields are expected. So you can kind of follow this instruction to make sure that you provide the solid state LiDAR to be providing these formats.
Okay, that's good. I'll ask my team to contact you regarding this.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. So if you have any kind of questions, you can either contact me or you can also again use the GitHub discussions to ask questions as well.
Yeah, first
so,
GitHub discussion.
Yeah, that's also useful. I mean, yeah, even if you're going to make contact me, it's probably better if you just can kind of summarize your questions in your under Q&A and then just send me a link if you want particular attention from my side.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mitsudume-san. So this at least gives a little bit of orientation, but you can direct your students also to these links, and we'll share these also in the meeting minutes. But there is a good process to essentially. I think the key aspect that with every team, my goal along with Pojen and with the support of Mitsudume-san is really to ensure that every team's vehicles are using the current version, and that takes a little bit of effort, but Pojan was able to successfully do it at Purdue University, and it was very pretty smooth to do the move from the legacy Autoware, say Autoware Auto, into the Universe. And now Ziran's team is using the Universe with the LLMs running on Autoware Universe. So it is a pretty smooth process, but we can help with that and make sure that because then any contributions are meaningful when they're running the latest version. So I want to use our time quite effectively now. We could just have quick updates, in terms of what specific projects you're working on that will align with the Autoware COE projects, and what kind of contributions Autoware could expect, and then what kind of help you would want with that. And I had discussions with most of y'all, I would say, but we would then have that written down in the in the template that I shared, and then we'll have like a quick one-on-one discussion just to make sure that it's all aligned. And by aligned, I just mean that our efforts are effectively utilized to actually make the contribution useful, right? We don't want to put effort where it is just like languishing somewhere. So let's just start with the list I shared, and it's not exhaustive, but we can at least start with Visong and then go to Josh and Lima, and each one of you will have a different kind of approach of doing research, but we can get these snapshots in five minutes. And everyone is welcome to ask questions, but you'll also get to know the specific projects everyone is working on. So go ahead, Visong.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rahul. You can hear me, right? Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
always.
Okay, good. First, nice to meeting many of you. Normally, I was one of my PhD students, William. He's joined, but today he actually is heading to Washington D.C. to give a presentation at the VTC. That's another big conference from the transportation side. VTC. This is their 100th edition. Right now is happening. But anyway, we have been actively, contributing to the Autoware through this. Just now, Mr. Dom-san showed these working groups. Actually, we are one of the co-leader of the API working group. So most directly is related to is trying to design the upper layer API for the Autoware so that the third party, and anybody can write in the code and then can easily access the sensors, storage, and on the other hand, they can also sort of control the vehicle if they want. For example, if somebody writing a code want to control the left side of the light and etc. So that is one of the things we have been directly contributing to this. I also have two PhD students actively in the OpenAD working group. So is trying to make this. Some of you probably know that the OpenAD kit, it was one of the big outcome from the Autoware Foundation. The idea is trying to make them more isolated so that they can run their own container on so it can be easily to to deploy it. So that's currently where we are. Well, by the way, I'm from University of Delaware, that not far away from Penn, but it's how we contributed to the Autoware. Rahul, should I mention a little bit about the IEEE MOST conference?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. So, okay, somebody is leaving that.
Yeah, San told me he had to leave a little early.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Bye, everyone.
So we have, I know IROS, VANCT is that's a very established conferences, but from the mobility point of view is how do we really use the autonomous vehicle to helping transport the human and the goods and etc. So we launched a conference. Shinpei actually is also on the steering committee of the conference that we successfully running 2 years now, and next year IEEE MOST that will be on University of Delaware on campus. So we have reserved a room on May 7th in the morning, will be dedicated to the Autoware workshop. So when I met Rahul a couple of, actually last Friday, we talk about that probably that we can, with the Autoware Center of Excellence, so with this project, so it might be good for if you can come here, you can show in some of the demos. So we will ask William and Panjang to actively do the help to arrange that, so you can come here to show the demo. So we have a very nice facility outdoor there that can do this type of demonstration. Yeah, I will stop here. At this point, at least Rahul probably can. Because Rahul and I were really local, so we will be here. And last time when Shinpei, who is the Autoware president, and so he also expressed that he probably will be here too. That's the idea. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Wissam. So basically the idea is that, this provides us a good target for, the even like the milestone for all our projects is that, we submit it to MOST and we attend MOST, and MOST is going to be like the COE project, conference. And it is a IEEE, and, thanks to Wissam, it is high quality conference, but it's also very focused on pretty much the area and what we are working on over here. So it is a newer conference, but it is very much having the right people there, and it's domestic, so it's easy to get to. And so together with Wissam, we will actually work together to make a workshop at MOST with all the COE contributions. And then we'd also encourage everyone to contribute full papers to MOST, and that will be kind of like our COE projects demo and discussion venue. Thanks a lot, Visong. This is great to have. So we know the kind of conclusion that we want by 2025 most. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
add
go ahead.
one more sentence? The deadline for most is December 20th, so you still have plenty of time to working on your paper. Also, in the day before our Autoware workshop, we will have tutorials. Right now, one is on the Autoware tutorials. So I haven't get a chance to talk to submit who were coming here to give the tutorial. The backup is William can do that because he did it earlier this year. The other one we want to do a tutorial is a Sophie, which when I visited Robot Day the other day in last month. So right now we're working with AWS and ARM trying to have a Sophie kind of the tutorial here as well. Yeah, thank you.
Say, hey, Wei-san, is it in Delaware? Is it at UDel most? Is that where it's going to be?
Yes, David,
Okay.
you being here last time, yeah. But we getting a much more infrastructure available will be by that time.
Sure. Beautiful. Okay, great.
Yeah. Thanks, Visong. So Venkat has also posted the links with the deadlines. So now we all know that, and I think this year most of the conferences were overseas, so it's good that in 25, I think most of the conferences will be here. But so let's move on then to Josh, and Josh has also very focused research, on security and bug finding with autonomy stacks. So Josh, you can give us a brief overview of what kind of project you would want to propose for the COE engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, this might be a good time to also
Yeah,
rate the multiple workshops we're running with Autoware at the core to a significant extent. So I'll start with that. So the workshops themselves are as Raul was hinting at, they're focused on software testing and debugging for autonomous driving. And Autoware is one of the key software systems where we're interested in testing and debugging. We've been doing it already. Our research group has contributed a decent number of bugs and fixes at this point, and we want to do a lot more of that. Traditionally, we've studied mainly Baidu Apollo, and so we're actually in the process of we're implementing versions of a variety of testing techniques to run on Autoware. And we'd like to, as much as possible, include that even in the CI/CD frameworks like Autoware Evaluator of Autoware. But also, we want to make it easy for as many people to come in and do that as possible. And that's one of the reasons why we're running workshops. We're trying to bring in clearly everyone from the Autoware COEs, but also from civil engineering, transportation, security, and clearly software testing and debugging, so that we can do this in a sense, lots of like automated bug detection, quality assurance, security analysis, fixing and repair. And kind of like one of our ultimate visions is to do this on the cheap. So for example, can we take maybe something like Open 80 Kit, and all the different simulators that exist here, but also I know a number of you are researching in terms of digital twins, for example, and make it so that our 12-hour experiments only cost like $16, as shown here as our estimates show. So besides that, I'm starting with the further out workshop, and I'll discuss ones that we plan for the near term. So Alfred and I, Alfred being the core security researcher who's also interested in software and has done a lot of autonomous driving security research. We're running a workshop at ICSE, so that's the International Conference Software Engineering. It's a top conference in software engineering. And a number of you, including a few of you in here right now, or your students, have joined this program committee where we're working to elicit requirements and build a community around essentially providing this kind of infrastructure, software engineering support for Autoware and autonomous driving in general. So that's happening most likely, we hope, April 27th through 29th, which will also hopefully help prevent it from overlapping with the MOST conference, for example. But to reduce that issue as well, we also are running a local UCI workshop on the same kind of area about this, really the testing and debugging infrastructure, but also software engineering for autonomous driving more generally, particularly Autoware, I think, because Autoware is very open. It's quite a mature system, even though something that's I know you don't necessarily want to say is really production grade, but we plan to run a UCI local workshop around later this year, so December, or early next year around January. And we've also we're in the process of securing funding so that like we can also cover expenses. Right now, we're looking to cover up to about $750 for the first about like 10 to 15 participants. So if you want to come to like sunny Southern California during like what was probably going to be like winter time, maybe snowy where you are, please take advantage and let's go talk about all this stuff together. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Josh. So I think I posted the link to Josh's workshop, and I think this is also a really good venue on the computer architecture community, and I think I know Wei Song, for example, works very closely to that, and several other members are interfacing with I think Jun Junfeng also at this level, right? So this is another really good place where we can have COE projects. So yeah, I think Vijay had to leave early, which he told me before. So I think the other so let's continue then with our list. I think Lema had an update also to share with us.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So, yes, actually, very sorry that I didn't join the COE monthly meeting quite often because I currently mostly based in Tokyo these days in University of Tokyo, and actually we also have a lab in University of Alberta. So hopefully our members in Alberta can join more frequently in the near future. So basically what we are doing, mostly focusing on the like AI, trustworthy AI systems, and some part overlap with the intelligent software engineering. So with Autoware, what we are thinking right now is for like because there's a recent progress in the large foundational model and multimodality model. So what we are thinking is how we can better introduce these kind of a novel somehow multimodality model into the autonomous vehicles in different stages, something like some stages like a perception, and also for better intention analysis leading to better optimize the planning and control. So this is actually one thing we would like to test both on like the simulation environment and possibly on the hardware somehow. And more importantly, we think about how to leverage these existing technique to enhance the safety of overall autonomous vehicles, both at the like a component level. For example, we consider a particular component, but also we consider the integration and system level. More from the like yeah, actually Josh mentioned a little bit on the like ML ops or DevOps kind of idea. So here we also would like to think about how to from that kind of system level to provide these safety assurance for the autonomous vehicle. Yeah, yeah. So that's actually what we are thinking. And in Japan, there is like a seminar specialized for Shonan seminar. It's a somehow like a Dachstuhl style kind of seminar. It's a closed, invited base kind of a seminar. And this year we hold a one on what we say trustworthy machine learning system engineering. And I think in the future, it might be a good idea. I'm not sure whether Autoware have a similar version on Shonan seminar. I think in the near future, we can also think about apply these kind of events that more like COE members could like come together in Tokyo and have more close face-to-face discussion. And yeah, that's that's what I'm hoping to contribute. And yeah, and also I think Isha has left already. I'd also joined the ITSC conference last week and met him. And yeah, in Alberta, because yeah, Alberta, before I started in University of Tokyo, he already have a center in COE in Alberta. So I think we can also have closer collaboration on that realm as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the actually the quick summary on our side. Yeah.
Thank you, Lima. I think this Shonan is something we would definitely want to. We both can follow up and include all the COE members once if we can write a proposal and get it approved for 25. That'll be really
Yes,
great.
yes. And currently, because the COVID-19, the seminar are quite well piled.
Yeah,
And I think
backlogged. Yeah.
the earliest one I think we can do like either later 2025 or early 2026. That
Sure,
could be
sure. We can at least get in the pipeline. Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah. I think it's a good idea, and if we want to do it, we can do it as early as possible, and we have some experience on how to run the workshop, and it's more like a closed door
And
seminar.
how many participants were there in this one?
Yeah, because of the size and because actually this seminar has been partially paid and sponsored by the NI. This is the organization behind Shonan. So that caused this is actually in the resort area near Tokyo region. So I think the academia participant only costs like everything included like less than $100 per day. So it's a
Yeah.
Usually the price will be triple or even more
Yeah.
because of the place, but it's somehow sponsored by the by the NI. So it's really nice. And by the chance, they also encourage and also have some kind of a collaboration with like Springer and other publishers. So through the seminar, the ideas can eventually be like put down into a like either it's a invited like a special session in a journal, or it can be a kind of a special edited book containing a consistent content along this discussion during the seminar. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Yeah. We'll definitely follow up on this.
And usually what is following to do, because in near Tokyo area there are so many our car companies, manufacturer autonomous vehicle companies around. And usually what we do is that either before and after the Shonan seminar, we'll host another following up industrial events. Also invite a lot of industrial like some department directors or some researchers in the company to join and share and also enhance the collaboration. So we have done that for twice, but more on the machine learning engineering side. But hopefully, because like Xinpei is already here and with Autoware and Tier 4, the whole community. So I think this can be a really nice one to have included even more like car companies to join the collaboration and community. Yeah.
Fantastic. I think this is great because, we want to have the system side, but also I would say like the core intellectual side. And this kind of dark stool style workshop is
Yeah. It's more
has a
like
good
that.
use.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Lima. So
Yeah.
we'll move
Okay.
on. We have just 10 minutes left, so we can just have quicker updates. We'll have Junfeng, is here, and he has been doing a lot of exciting work with the Autoware stack.
Yes, thank you,
Go ahead,
Rahul.
Junfeng.
Yeah,
Good to
hello
see you
everyone.
again.
Yeah, good to see you. I'm Junfeng Zhang from Arizona State University. I'm glad to have this opportunity to share some of the research work. Actually, I presented once, invited by Rahul, on our work. So basically, over here, I'm not sure if everyone knows that we have a lot of robot taxis running around in Phoenix area. So the state government was interested in the safety, the regulation of AVs. So that's why we had this project with the Science Foundation Arizona to develop a framework for AV safety evaluation. And as a first step, we acquired a fully instrumented AV and then integrated the Autoware.universe into the system. During the process, we developed our own because the AV was equipped with the data speed drive-by-wire module, and at that time we didn't find any software piece to interface Autoware.universe with that. So we have to develop our own software to interpret the control signals into the CAN bus. So I think that's something we have already open sourced and but not officially integrated into Autoware software package. So maybe that's something we can work with Autoware to make it more available to others who might be interested in doing a similar thing. The second thing is kind of extension. So once we have the platform, we want to develop the framework. Now I'm serving as a co-chair of the Autoware Safety Assurance Working Group together with Mohammed from Deepen AI. So hopefully we can also work together, expand some of the safety metrics and also the safety evaluation tools into Autoware. I think the AWS credit might also help us. So we're now looking to the web.auto within Autoware and try to get familiarized with the existing tools and come up with a roadmap how to proceed and how to align all the resources. I think that's kind of a quick intro.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Junfeng. I think your work is anyway right on target with everything we are doing within the context.
Thank you, Rahul.
Yeah, and we'll follow up on and yeah. So from TU Eindhoven, we have guys.
Yes, indeed. So I think we also presented ourselves during the previous meeting. What do you like me to highlight, Rahul?
Just a specific project that you would want to work on with the as a COE project, and then we would have that,
I
with
think
the proposal. Yeah.
There are, in general, there are several projects the coming year that we want to work on in relation to Autoware. One of the projects is that we want to make a digital twin of our campus. So we want to take our whole university campus, make a 3D model out of it, and then use that in combination with AW Sim. And also for the campus, we will have a data collection vehicle that will drive around each day that will collect naturalistic driving data. So then we will have a real environment, a real vehicle, real naturalistic driving data, and we will also have a digital twin of that environment. So that allows for all kinds of interesting research directions. But this will be a lot of work and will take more than 1 year probably. So a more focused thing that we would like to contribute to the Autoware community is our radar-based localization. So together with our partners here that are mainly from the space of long-haul trucks and public transport buses, we have created a radar-based localization using radar point clouds, and this is something that we would like to make available to the Autoware community so that this can be used.
Cool. Thank you so much, guys. I think we'll follow up on the specifics and then we'll can proceed with that. Thank you so much. This was great. Yeah, and then so we'll move on to I think we had David, but I just want Venkat had a specific project. Maybe Venkat, you can briefly mention that, and then David had a discussion in the last few minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, if I can quickly share my screen, I have it up here. I've
Yeah.
also put a description of this within.
Yeah.
I put a description of this within the chat for further details. But essentially, the twins have been working with developing the AutoDrive ecosystem. There's more details about it in this GitHub page, where it's a simulator dev kit with a wide variety of interfaces. Using this, they've now created essentially interfaces to Autoware. And using that, you can actually see a lot of details here, but the portion I wanted to highlight is we've looked at modeling small scale, mid scale, full scale systems of all different sorts shown here, along with the environments. So for the F110th, for example, the racetrack, different racetracks together with the vehicle and multiple vehicles are being simulated. And that would represent the first obvious target for the sort of Autoware thing, so that it's something that we can now release to the community. More broadly, I think, as you can see in the background of my picture, in addition to the 1/10 scale cars, we have a full-scale Chrysler Pacifica that was running an earlier version of Autoware. And so we're looking to now upgrade that to the latest version. Would also, and to actually, we have it modeled already within the AutoDrive ecosystem. Somewhere amongst all these videos, you'll see, the OpenCAV. And so it looking to create the digital campus, much like the TU Eindhoven team, would be something that we're looking to pursue.
Great. Thanks, Venkat. And I think, we have AWS Sim, then we have, these alternate simulators. And so I think we want to sort of start to also position that, and we'll work with Summit to sort of, somehow, I don't think we can fully harmonize it, but at least they have different uses and be able to then direct folks to that. And so just in the last 2 minutes, I just wanted David to have a chance to speak and give us some updates on. He's always doing some exciting stuff.
Well, I didn't want to take time if there's some other proper.
No. I think we. Is there anyone else we did not cover by any chance? I think we've covered everyone. Yeah.
Okay, then and I'll skip on a couple different, topics here. But one, like I mentioned in there, and by discussion, I meant, around the 1/8 topic, off-road, end-to-end solutions, unstructured environments, so you can have a little bit more capable processing on the slightly larger off-road chassis and getting into those spaces. There's a lot of initiatives, I think, going on around that. We might want to take a look at that in the appropriate form. And by discussion, I meant on the one hand, yes, real discussion, but on the other, I don't know if that lends itself to a GitHub discussion. That's what I was kind of meaning by the discussion topic. So whatever you want to do, or something, nothing at all around 1/8 would just be one point. The other one I'll just update in general. So I'm applying for a permit in what's called the Transportation Innovation Zone in Detroit to run either the PIX kit and or the RoboBus. We'll see how that goes. If that comes to fruition, I might need some help, or that might be a decent platform for anybody that might want to do something creative there. I'm kind of approaching it from a ground up, asking permission without a real specific app in mind just yet, but that could be an ideal test environment if that comes to pass. And the same holds true, and I don't know if anybody else got in it, but there was the Toyota Foundation sponsored what's called the Sustainable Cities Challenges, and is continuing to do so. This year it was Detroit, Varanasi, India, and Venice, Italy, where each had a challenge that wrapped up with submissions in September. This last month they announced towards the end of October, November, they said, I was just coming off of the, indie event and all that stuff, but scrambled to at least throw something over the wall. Again, if that does come to fruition, then, I'll certainly be volunteering what's going on there here for any, interest or support in engaging in and around that. Yeah, I think those would just be the brief updates, Ro.
Thanks, David. And I think Venkat has also posted, challenges for off-road vehicle autonomy.
There's an upcoming workshop.
Great.
I wanted to mention. It's actually going to be in Chicago, in I think 28th of this. I forget the dates. It's starting to blur. Yeah, it's at the end of this month.
Yeah, Venkat, while you mentioned that, since you also have a PIX kit down there, I'd love to find out more about AutoDrive and play with it on the PIX kit that I have up here. Is there like a website or something, or how do I kind of, check that out?
Yeah, but let's set up a time with Chinmay Tanmay, and we're happy to.
Perfect.
It is one of the targets for us.
Awesome. Okay, thanks.
Cool. I know this was quite a few project proposals and updates, but Pojan and I will follow up with each of y'all and we'll get them grounded and written down. But thanks a lot, everyone, and we'll end our meeting for today. And hope you have a great rest of the week.
Same to you. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Earl.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, Rahul. Do you have a minute?